All right, all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone for teaching and ruling well in the scriptures, and salutations to you, Akim, across the world, pushing this word in truth and in sincerity and with charity. And as you can see here, I have the word edification pulled up. All right, and what comes from edification? All right, basically people learning. All right, our people, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans learning, all right, your culture again, all right, getting understanding of the ways of our forefathers through what? Through the scriptures, and basically through sound speech and seasoned speech, all right. Naturally, edification is going to come out of it, all right, because that's how it was meant to be. That's how it's meant to be ordered, all right. Now you might have sometimes where we might be teaching and it gets heated. All right. Edification could also come out from that, but for the most part, edification comes from your speech being seasoned, your speech being sound. All right. Because ultimately we have the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. So I'm going to get this definition in a couple scriptures. I don't want to make it too long. It's just about seasoning our speech, because the times we're coming into, these people are going to start coming up and asking us, all right, what what we're out there for, man. All right. Jake's going to start coming up and asking questions. So we are to be seasoned in speech. All right. The Lord has made us teachers, deacons, bishops, elders, apostles. All right. And the scriptures always points at being seasoned in speech and always having an answer to give a man. All right. According to the scriptures. All right. So this is edification. All right. From the mid 14th century in religious use, a building up of the soul. So when people come up to when people come up on the highways and byways, when we teach, it should be a building up of their soul for them to get it, for them to understand, all right, what we're out there teaching. All right, not automatically go to cut them with anything, or you doing this wrong, brother. And, we're supposed to present why we're out there first and foremost. All right, so they can kind of get a grasp of what's going on. All right, because a lot of spirits are going to come up and not understand why we're out there. And some of them could be the elect. Most of them are going to be 2/3. All right, and even the 2/3 can get edified and, make their decision at in their own time. All right, whether they want to get right or not. But ultimately, we're supposed to edify and season our speech. All right, we're not supposed to be just saying anything. All right, we're supposed to make sense when we speak and teach the word, man. All right. In religious use, it says a building up of the soul, from Old French edification, a building or construction, edification, a good example. All right, so in the etymology, it says we're supposed to be a good example, all right, of teaching this word. All right, we're supposed to present ourselves wisely. By how? By using the scriptures. All right, by seasoning our speech. All right, by learning how to answer everyone. Okay, it says construction, the process of building a building, and edifice, spiritual improvement. Okay, we're supposed to be presenting people with the plans on spiritual improvement, thus saith the Lord, all right, with the scriptures. All right, and when you do this, you convince people, and you're going to convince people that you're right, and they're just not going to agree. They're going to be like, okay, well, you got a point. All right, and it's not going to be for them, and you're going to convince people that actually understand, and they're going to believe through that, man. All right, we're supposed to be a good example, as it says there, but nevertheless, I got a couple scriptures I noted. Okay, the first one is, this is Colossians 4:3. It says, "Withal, praying also for us, that the Most High would open unto us a door of utterance, to speak the mystery of Hamashiach, for which I am also in bonds." That's what we're doing out on the highways and byways, speaking the mysteries of these scriptures, which nobody has ever understood but the prophets, man. So, therefore, we just need to use the scriptures, all right, and season our speech when dealing with people out on the highways and byways. It's not always about screaming at them, cutting them. It's really about edifying the camera, because from you having a dialogue with an Edomite that comes up, lo and behold, all types of edification, all right, for the camera could come out through that cordial conversation, man. Okay, it's not always about cutting the Edomite and You really can pick the Edomite, man, because they don't know anything, man. We know way more than them through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. So Edomites that come up, it's not always about just getting straight to the point and cutting them. You can always get around to cutting them, but why not edify the camera at the same time by having a cordial discourse with them, man? You see? So then people can get understanding. All right, their people can understand that they're wrong and that they're going to pay for all the things they've done. And all the edification comes out. You know, good example of that is our elder Malcolm, man. It seems like the spirit, every time he's at camp, all types of people come up and it's just cordial discourses the whole time and lots of edification comes out of it. You see? It's not always about cursing them out, cutting them and getting them down the street. Because the longer they stay there, the more edification can come out of the discourse and the conversation. Verse 4 says that I may make it manifest as I ought to speak. Walk in wisdom towards them that are without, redeeming the time. This is also in your day-to-day life, man. You know, these people don't know anything, so handle them with wisdom. They don't know, they absolutely know nothing. These people are asleep. These people are in gross darkness, as the scripture says. You see? Walk in wisdom towards them that are without, redeeming the time. Let your speech be always with grace. So I want to get that word grace as well, since I'm already on the etymology online dictionary. Okay, here's grace. Late 12th century, God's unmerited favor, love, or help, pardon, divine grace, mercy, favor, thanks, elegance, virtue. These are the qualities that we're supposed to present on the highways and byways and in our everyday life when we have this wisdom inside of us, man. Okay, we're always supposed to be seasoned with grace, dealing with people in the world. All right, now sometimes these people are going to vex you. You're going to try to tell somebody the truth. In the world, they're going to get mad. They're going to look at you funny. But that's on them. Just keep it with grace and keep it seasoned. They don't get it. It's not for them. You see? It says favor, esteem, regard, pleasing quality, goodwill, gratitude, pleasing or agreeable. Okay? So that's basically how we're supposed to be with this word. All right? That's why when Yahushua went to Pontius Pilate, he even said that he had nothing bad to say about Yahushua. He doesn't understand why our people were wanting him to be put to death, man. All right, this is what the Edomite said. He didn't even understand why he found Yahushua blameless. Okay, why? Because of the Lord's speech. All right, and from speaking at the right times and not speaking. Okay. Verse 6, it says, Colossians 4 and 6, let your speech be always with grace, seasoned with salt, that ye may know how ye ought to answer every man that comes up to the camp, every woman that comes up to the camp, whether it doesn't matter what nation they are. We understand through the scriptures that we know how to answer them. We have an unction and we know all things, man. Okay? This is Titus 1 and 9. It says, holding fast the faithful word as he have been taught, that he may be able to, by sound doctrine, both to exhort and to convince the gainsayers. So we're gonna be able to exhort, all right, people on the highways and byways by using this doctrine, okay, by using the words, by using the wisdom and knowledge and understanding that we have received through the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. All right, and then it says to exhort and to convince the gainsayers. So we're gonna convince this word will convince the Edomite that they're absolutely wrong. All right. Whether they want to say it out loud or not, they'll walk home and be convinced that they've been confounded. They're not going to say it. Or it's going to convince the so-called Negro, Latino, or Native American, or confusion of face, which go back to those three tribes, or those three subgroups that they put upon us, who are the children of Israel. It's going to convince them that we have the truth, which is evidently happening because a lot of people in IUIC, a lot of other camps, all right, a lot of the other people that have been watching the other camps have started to come onto the comment boards of Great Millstone videos. Because why? This word, and it's not even us, this word, all right, and how we teach it through the Spirit is convincing the gainsayers. Because we're using the Lord's word. It's not our opinions, it's not our thoughts. These are the words of the Lord. Okay? This is 1 John 2, This is 1 John 2:20. But ye have an unction from the Holy One, and ye know all things. So we know everything through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. So that gives us more the ability to keep our speech seasoned and with grace, and to all exhortation to convince gainsayers. All right. Verse 21, it says, I have not written unto you because ye know not the truth, but because ye know it, and that no lie is of the truth. Who is a liar, but he that denieth that Yahushai is the anointed? He is Antichrist that denieth the Father and the Son. So when we present this and exhort these people, if they don't understand the words of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai and they don't get it, they don't agree, like a Edomite that came up this past weekend and she said it is bullshit. That's because they are Antichrist, and that you can specifically point that out and see it through the Spirit after you present all the words of the Lord and His Son, man. Okay? You will see after you exhorted and after you seasoned and spoken with salt, all right, and with goodness and with grace. If they don't agree, that means they are an Antichrist, and this is how you evidently point them out through the Spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Okay? This is Titus 2:6. Young men likewise exhort to be sober-minded, in all things showing thyself a pattern of good works in doctrine, showing uncorruptness, gravity, sincerity, sound speech that cannot be condemned. All right, so when you're out there cursing people out, and sometimes it's going to get heated because people are going to make you mad, of course. But the whole point is not to curse people out, it's not to yell at people, and it's a cut to myself too. We've all done it. So it's saying, in all things showing thyself a pattern of good works in doctrine, showing uncorruptness. So of course it's going to get heated, but the Lord wants us to show uncorruptness, gravity, sincerity. He wants us to show sound speech that cannot be condemned, that he that is of the contrary part may be ashamed, which is what's going to happen to the so-called white man when he comes up to the camps, man. He's going to be ashamed. They should be ashamed from when we bring out this truth and show them all the signs and things that they have done. All right. And when we say the things that they have done, they like to say that, oh, it wasn't us, but you benefit from these things that have been done to us. Therefore, you are the people that are continuing on that type of energy upon our people. So you're going to be ashamed. All right. All right. Well, how are you going to be ashamed? From hearing our sound speech and our uncorruptness. All right. You're not going to be able to condemn it, as it says here in the scriptures. All right, verse 8 again, it says, sound speech that cannot be condemned, that he that is of the contrary part may be ashamed, having no evil thing to say of you. All right, so they're not going to be able to say anything against us because it's going to all be coming out of the scriptures, and they're going to be condemned by the scriptures. All right, as soon as we teach them with salt, and we have reasoning in our speech, we have grace in our speech, and they still can't get it. It told you in 1 John that they are Antichrist then. All right, then you know that you can't deal with that type of person because they're not right. Majority of Edomites are going to come out in the spirit of Antichrist. 2/3 of our people are going to come up in the spirit of Antichrist. The heathens are going to come up in the spirit of Antichrist. But in all actuality, we're supposed to still keep our speech sound. All right. And that's going to cut them itself, because they're not going to have anything to say of us, any evil thing to say of us. And why? Because they're going to be ashamed, as it says in this 8th verse. I'm going to read once more. Titus 2:8, sound speech that cannot be condemned, that he that is of the contrary part may be ashamed, having no evil thing to say of you. And that's what's going to happen when you keep your speech sound and you just destroy them with the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. All right. All the while exhorting and edifying the camera, because when Edomites come up and they have all these different kinds of ideologies and all these different types of ideas and feelings, and they're constantly getting cut with the truth and different scriptures that prove that they're wrong, they're going to be ashamed, while on the other side, the people watching are going to get edified, okay, from the whole entire discourse, So I got one more, and I'm going to get on out of here. I don't want to make it too long. Bear with me 1 second. All right, this is First Peter chapter 3. First Peter chapter 3, verse 14. And if ye suffer for righteousness' sake, happy are ye. So we don't have to worry about anything. If we suffer for this, when we're teaching just righteousness and out the Bible, the Lord said, happy are ye. And be not afraid of their terror, neither be troubled, but sanctify the Most High, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, in your hearts, and be ready always to give an answer to every man that asketh you a reason of the hope that is in you with meekness and fear. So you go into that word meekness. Okay. You don't always got to curse them out. You don't always got to yell at them. You don't always got to just straightly cut them. You can really break down and have a cordial discourse with a person that doesn't believe, and they will get stumped through the scriptures, and edification will go through the camera, man. Mildness of disposition, gentleness of spirit, meekness. So of course it's going to get heated, but for the most part, we're supposed to present the truth with gentleness of spirit, with meekness. 1 Peter 3 and 15, but sanctify the Lord Yahweh in your hearts, and be ready always to give an answer to every man that asketh you a reason of the hope that is in you with meekness and fear, having a good conscience, that whereas they speak evil of you as of evildoers, they may be ashamed that falsely accuse your good conversation in Hamashiach Yahushai. You see, and that is ultimately the goal that I'm trying to reach first and foremost myself, and that anyone in the truth should be willing to want to reach as well. Because they're not going to be able to say anything. They're going to be ashamed. They're going to have to walk up the street. All right, people in the world are going to be ashamed. They're not going to want to deal with you because they're ashamed. They're cut by the word. All right, we shouldn't feel bad for cutting these people with the scriptures. They should feel bad because they don't want to adhere to the spirit of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Specifically, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and confusion of face. All right, they go back to so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. But that's just it. It was just real quick. All right, I want to end it by giving all praises to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai B'Shem Rakakodash, Lord willing, that was edifying, and also salutations to all you Akim across the world, pushing His word in truth and in sincerity. Double honors to the apostles. And the season with salt, it really destroys people spiritually, man. It tells you that these people will most definitely be ashamed that falsely accuse your gut conversation in Hamashiach. All right. All praise to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, double honors to the apostles. Shalom.